Here's how to bet the NBA on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Let's go. First things first, sign up and deposit. It takes a couple minutes to sign up. You're in the door and you're ready to bet. And if you've still yet to sign up on DraftKings yet, there's a link in the description and in the pinned comment that'll get you $150 in bonus bets on a $5 bet. Deposit 5, bet 5, win or lose, $150 in bonus bets are yours. It's a great offer. And of course, you never want to ignore these because every time you sign up on a new sportsbook, you should be taking advantage of their bonuses. Okay, so we're signed up, we funded our account, we got our bonus bets, we're ready to rock. First thing we do, I know we want to talk basketball, that's why you're here, but we got to understand the layout of the site first, all right? If you look at the bottom of the screen, that's the home screen. That's where you can find anything from sports to promos and everything else. But if you look next to that, you have in-game. That's where you can bet games live. Let's say the Sixers or the Hornets or the Hawks are playing and it's the second or third, fourth quarter, first quarter. You can bet those games live from the spread to the total, the money line, the props, all of that we'll get into in a second. But just know that after these games tip off, you can still bet them. Then there's the My Bets tab. Any bets that you have placed, that's where you find them. And then there's rewards. Don't overlook this. Don't ignore it because DraftKings Sportsbook has one of the best rewards or loyalty programs out there. Starting with their promos. Now, every sportsbook has promos, but DraftKings tends to have some very good ones, whether it's profit boosts, where you can boost the amount that you profit on a specific bet or a specific game or a sport, or an odds boost, where they boost your odds. They give you better odds. They sweeten the pot for betting a game or a player or a sport. And then, more importantly, is your actual rewards. On DraftKings Sportsbook, you earn crowns, and you automatically earn them for every wager that you place. And then you can redeem them once you pile up enough for DraftKings dollars, which is site credit, casino credits, and other exclusive rewards that you can find in the DraftKings store. Really good loyalty program, good rewards program. You'll want to take advantage of this if you sign up on DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, so we've gotten all of that out of the way. It's time to talk some basketball. Let's take the 76ers and Pacers to give you a little crash course in what you're looking at and what is imperative that you understand. Most importantly, the basics before we go any further. So you're going to see a bunch of numbers here. Some of you may know what they mean. Some of you don't. I'll walk you through them and we'll do it quickly. The spread, the point spread. All this means, if you think about it in the most simplistic terms, no matchup or most matchups are not created equally. So this is what the sports books do, create a point spread in order to essentially even out the matchup. So you can bet on both teams without having to pick the winner, right? In this case, the Sixers are -5. That means that they are laying 5 points. Now, I'm sure you've heard this phrase before, covering the spread. In order for the Sixers to cover the spread, let's say you bet the Sixers at -5. They need to win by 6 or more. It doesn't matter if they win by 6 or if they win by 60. They just need to win by 6 or more in order to cover the spread and for you to win that bet. The Pacers at +5 means they're the underdogs. Now, you'll learn this, but the minus numbers mean they're the favorites. The plus numbers mean they're the underdog. So if you said, hey, I like the Pacers in this game. I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but I think they keep it close and I think they cover the spread. I'm going to bet them at +5. What that means is they just need to lose by less than 5. If they lose by 4 or 3 or 2, or if they win by 10, you win and you win the same amount. You don't win more money for how much they cover by, and you don't lose more money for how much they don't cover by. Because if they lose by 6, you lose your bet, and whoever bet the Sixers at -5 wins. One important thing here. You might see that it's a -5 and say, wait, what if I bet the Sixers and they win by 5? Or what if I bet the Pacers and they lose by 5? Well, that's what we call a push. And in that case, the sportsbook doesn't win, you don't win, the bet is voided, and your stake in this bet gets returned to your account. Next up is the total. This is the easiest one to understand. You're simply betting the game to score more or less points than the total. If you think in this case with the Pacers and the Sixers that it's going to have more than 240 points, 240.5 is the total here, which means it can't push. That is called a hook. The 0.5 that you'll see on certain games means that it is a win or a lose. There is no way that this game can score 240.5 points. So in this case, let's say you think this game goes over. It's a high-scoring, fast-paced affair, which it actually should be. 240 is a big total. You would need 241 points or more to win. And if you bet the under, you would need this game to score under 241 1 points. If it lands on 240, you win. If you bet the over and it lands on 240, you lose. Now, again, it doesn't matter if the Sixers win this game 200-41. If you bet the over, that's still 241 points. It doesn't matter how it gets there as long as the total score goes over. And last, we have the money line. Remember I said negative numbers are the favorite and positive numbers are the underdog? Well, it's a little bit more complicated with the money line, but I'll put it as simple as possible for you to understand. Anytime you see the negative numbers, think of that as the outcome is more likely to happen than the other side with the positive number, which means it's less likely to happen. So in this instance, the Sixers are minus 198. They are the favorites to win this game. Now you might say, well, why don't I just bet the Sixers to win instead of to cover a 5-point spread? Well, because the more negative that number becomes, the more you have to bet. Think of it to win $100 because that's how these American odds work. In this case, minus 198 means that in order to win $100, you would need to bet $198. Let's say the Sixers were minus 400. In order to win $100, you would need to bet $400. Now, conversely, on the other side, this is how much you would win if you bet $100. So with plus money, with plus numbers, that is how much you would win if you bet 100. And with minus numbers, that is how much you would need to bet in order to win $100. Now, of course, you don't need to bet $100, but that's the easiest way to look at it. So with the Pacers, if you wanted to bet $100 on this, your payout would be $164 in the event that it won. All right, so let's dig a little bit deeper here. If you click on the game itself, this is where you can get to all the good stuff, right? Outside of just the point spread, the total, the money line, you have game lines where you can now adjust the spread. If you want the Sixers to win by 8, you can adjust, or if you think the Sixers are going to win by a lot, you could adjust that all the way up for obviously a bigger payout. That minus money becomes plus money because it's less likely to happen, but your payout becomes bigger. You can do the same thing with the total, whether you think it's going to be a higher or lower scoring game. My recommendation, though, if you're new to sports betting, don't toy around with this stuff quite yet. Familiarize yourself with the basics and then move forward later as you get more comfortable and more knowledgeable. And as always, all that you need to know, everything you need to learn, you can find right here on the Odds Shopper channel. If you want to become more educated and really understand the ins and outs of sports betting, oddshopper.com or right here on the channel. We've got a million tutorials that can help you along your way to becoming more educated and more profitable, which is why you're here to begin with. You can also bet on player points. Of course, they have standard points, alternate points, player three-pointers, combos like points, rebounds, and assists, defense. All of that stuff is where you'll find after you click on the game itself. And for those of you looking to dip your toes in the very dirty and murky waters of the parlay and the teaser world, all that means is that you're combining multiple bets, 2 or more, for a larger payout. Now also understand that there is a much bigger risk included with parlays because you have to win every one of those bets within the bet. We call them legs in order for the payout. If you have a 5-leg parlay with 5 bets combined into one, you need to win all 5. If you win 4, that doesn't matter. We'll talk round robins in another video, but that's not for this one. And lastly, we have same game parlays. Now, the sports books want you to bet this. I'm just being upfront with you guys. If you have fun doing this and you're just doing it as a hobby, I totally get it. But with same game parlays, you're combining multiple bets from the same game into a single bet. So you're placing one wager, but it's on multiple 2 or more, as always, bets into a same game parlay, creating larger odds, bigger odds and a bigger payout with also a lot more risk. And if you're looking to bet awards like the MVP or futures or finals winners, or even the in-season tournament, all of that is here as well. You just scroll all the way to the right side of all the bets on the app, and that's where you'll find it. Hopefully that helped, guys, laying out the basics for everything you need to know to bet the NBA on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, or hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are open at Loughy_D, LOUGHY_D. Good luck. Have fun betting, and we'll catch you guys back here for the next one. And as always, must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.